We've been doing learning about 5 areas of Qi Transference using Yang Lu Jan's form. That's quite interesting stuff. We learned yesterday about Sung. Sung means not to relax, but to not feel the movements as you do them. It's all a part of internal Kung Fu. So we use wave hands like clouds. That's the first area that you'll feel Sung in, because it's such a perfectly rounded movement. And see if I get to here, and I felt the wrist move. That's incorrect. So Sung simply means doing the movements without feeling the movements happening. In other words, you have to be so soft and sensitive that you don't actually feel the movements happening. And a nice little anecdote that was told me by an old Chinese person was the fact, it was the first realization that I had of Sung, first anecdote that really made any sense. He said it's like having a cake in the oven and it comes up like that, and you put it on there and you turn away and flop, it goes down, and you haven't seen it go down. So that's a good anecdote as to what Sung is. And we actually use wave hands like clouds in a static position. We don't even have to move. But of course eventually all of the moves in your Taiji form become Sung. Even single whip, I do single whip like that now, because to bring my fingers together, you see, I can feel the wrists moving. When I'm just doing Tai Chi for myself, just for the physical benefits of Tai Chi, just for some exercise, sure, I'll just do it fast and I'll just do that, just because I'm using muscles. But when I'm doing Tai Chi for all the right reasons, for grounding, for health, etc., and especially for the spiritual part, I'll just bring it like that. And when you're doing Sung, you never touch your hands together. It's doing things like this. It's just as close as you get. I can perhaps feel just the hairs rubbing together, etc. So that's basically what Sung is. And then we covered moving from the center. That's the next step. So Sung is the first area of learning how to transfer the Qi. And transferring the Qi, if you can transfer the Qi, you don't have to learn it for learning to transfer the Qi, for healing or for martial arts. If you know how to transfer the Qi, or if you can transfer the Qi, then you're literally doing everything correct. So all you have to learn is how to transfer the Qi, and you can't transfer the Qi if you're not doing it correctly. You see, if you're doing it correctly, you can transfer the Qi. So if you learn about transferring the Qi, of which there are 5 areas we want to learn about, Sung is the first area, then you're up there. You're absolutely up there. It takes a long time, of course, and you can't jump to one before you've gone to the other, so you must do them in progression. So the first thing is simply learning about moving without feeling, and in order to do that, you simply have to do your Tai Chi as it was intended, with none of that, or no hard movements anywhere, and all the movements must be perfectly rounded. Because if you go to here, for instance, and back, I felt that movement because it was stop and start. So all the movements in Tai Chi are rounded. Even if they don't look rounded, they are actually rounded. So, and also of course, basics are you never ever do a dead move like that. So in order to not feel the wrists moving, this movement in particular, right in the beginning, see, I always like to tell people, it's like you're not flicking your hand up to bring it down, you're actually dropping your wrist below your fingers. So if you get to here in the very first move, and you put like a pencil there or something, or someone puts their finger there, then you leave your fingers there, see, and drop your wrist below your fingers, and then start to take it back down again. That's what it's really like. Yes, yes.
Should there be the same amount of heaviness in the yang than the yin?
Yes, Peter just asked, should be this, when we do the form, the arms should be heavy. I like to imagine it like a tree, and your arms are like tree, the branches hanging off a tree. You know, they're very powerful, and they can sway under the breeze and everything, but they're just hanging there. There's no tension in the branch, it's just hanging there. Of course, the epitome of that is the analogy of the bamboo and the snow, and it just bends, the snow falls off and it springs back up again. You see, so yes, it doesn't matter whether it's a yin movement or a yang movement, your arms must be the same amount of heavy all the way through. It's just that your mind changes them from yin to yang, that's all. Because yin and yang are relative to each other. You can't just say something's yin without saying what it's yin to. Because Sydney is yin as compared to Brisbane, but Sydney is yang as compared to Melbourne, you see? So everything must be relative to each other. So when you're doing a Taiji form, as I said yesterday, it's like something dripping off your hands, and you feel this See, if you're doing this, you don't have to feel, oh, heavy, heavy,